For those who are wondering, these are the K series axle. Okay, so the transmission side axle is longer. Okay, this one. And in ideal case scenario, to minimize the torque steer, okay, the ideal should be equal. But this is not the case. So there is a slight torque steer in both of CRZ and Honda Fit, and especially if you don't know what torque steer is, when you are doing a hard acceleration, then the car you are holding the steering wheel tight, but the car itself sometimes tilts toward one side. It want to go toward one side, right or the left. Okay, so that is a case with all the front wheel drive cars. Okay, so Honda has done many things to minimize that, but one thing should be the axle should be ideal equal axle. Okay, but that is not the case mostly. Okay,
and there is a very important thing. The problem is the shifter cable pass under here, and this is the exhaust, this is the ABS module. I unplugged that, and this is fixed with just two screws, one here, one here. Okay, after removing the screws, and the shaping of this metal won't affect this because this ABS unit is fixed above this. Okay, so with a grinder, okay, I'll remove this piece and show you how to address that common problem. So after that metal has been removed, look at that. This is the down pipe just in front of, okay, and the shifter cables pass through here, and this is not the just turbo down pipe, and your OEM exhaust passes through there. Okay, but now we will be shifting to bigger exhaust, so there will be a problem. So if you bend the shifter cable sideways, for example, if we bend it left, then again this sharp metal edge will hit it. So I'll be telling you how to address this problem meanwhile doing the wiring too. So okay,
a small hair path. Okay, just a little metal hair cut here, and from here my cable will be straight. Okay, so this is the down portion, and I have removed my exhaust. Okay, so this was here. Okay, now see, this almost path is blocked. Okay, so uh, let's push it aside to show you clearly. Now the cables would be passing around here. Okay, I keep emphasizing, just take everything you get with your engine. Okay, these are the cut cable which came with my engine. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this protective metal and apply it to my current cables. Okay, which were touching the exhaust. So this cut cables, I kept them, and now they are serving me good. Okay, so just gonna remove that. Okay, that's it. And screwdriver, and these are out. Okay, one cable is out, and okay, the other is out too. So now I'll be applying them here. Okay, nice path Honda has making for them, and I will be bolting this with a nut with the body of my car, so the cable won't be going anywhere. Otherwise the zip ties, they are weak, man. With time the plastic, because they are very near to exhaust, the plastic deteriorates, and there is a lot of tension on these cables. Okay, so zip ties just snap and they will touch your exhaust and melt away. Okay, another thing I wanted to add, that to cool this thing, and this coolant boost helped me a lot. Okay, and really it makes the distance of 10 to 15 degrees for me. Okay, the coolant needle in my gauge just comes down so quick after I added this. Okay, so I'm not their representative, but just try this out. Okay, this is a must, I think, for our K-Swap boosted cars. Okay,
another very minor but important thing, of course we will install the gauges inside, and this is the oil sandwich adapter, and this is the oil pressure gauge, and this is the oil temperature gauge. So I fix them with the these epoxies or GP weld. Don't use Teflon. Okay, I have bad experience with Teflon, and I use this type of epoxies, and GP weld works fine, but there are other type of epoxies where you mix the two tubes. Okay, just apply some over there, over not the tip but just the last threads, and then you can tie them up, and then does not look good, but this works very well. Okay, no leaking, and and also use this type of sleeves because these two sensors, the oil pressure and temperature, are very near to exhaust. Okay, so I use these type of sleeves, and then I further insulated them because this is my where the exhaust manifold is, and that's the inside sleeve, and then further sleeve. Okay, this is triple sleeve 1, 2 and 3, but this is, and this is that epoxy I was telling about. This is my turbo feed. This is an adapter, 1 2 3 4 pin adapter. So this is my oil pressure sensor of the OEM Honda, and then here is the the turbo feed line. So everything I use to fix these epoxy to lock the threads, okay, and to make a perfect seal. These do not leak.
To the mark, the timing belt tension, that triangle, that is where it need to be between these two square circles. Okay, so this is perfect. Okay, so this you should also check. This will show that your idler pulley is okay. Okay, so it's perfect tension, and this is perfect belt for you. Okay, another thing, that's why I tell you, when you buy an engine, just rotate the AC compressor. Now I'm rotating the clutch, and look at that, there is, you see, this is so this is gap. Okay, and other thing is touching. Okay, it is also making a sound. Look, here is no gap, and now, so this thing is bent. Okay, look at, there is no gap, and now there is gap. So that's why you buy the engine. For example, if you bought the engine and this has problem, then when it is out, it's better to address that problem, because once that thing is inside the engine, it is very hard to diagnose this. When everything is running, engine is running, the pulleys are circulating, so you won't tell it is making noise or not, and why your something is rubbing, what thing is rubbing. Very difficult to tell. Okay, look at that, it's very much bent. Okay, so
Okay, the last but not the least is the evap line. Okay, and the line, the sensor, evap sensor, which evacuates extra fuel pressure inside the tank. Okay, so if you don't connect it, or you don't wire it up, then the your fuel pressure your inside cabin fuel reading will be erratic. Okay, sometime when there is a heat, the tank will expand and the fuel level will drop. Okay, and similarly in the winter, when the fuel tank is collapsed with the because we have plastic fuel tanks, okay, not the metal, so the fuel tank will shrink in the winter, and you will have the false reading that fuel tank is filled with more fuel. So to eliminate that, just connect this this is the fuel line, and this is the evap line. Okay, so just connect it with an evap pipe. This is another view. This is the our CRZ. This was here the fuel line, and this one is the evap line. Okay, okay, you can use Honda CRZ OEM, just remove the evap sensor, or you can use the one which came with your engine. Okay, both work just fine, just you have to change the grip. Okay, this one, the K series one, has a bigger grip. Just remove that grip from the wiring which came your with the engine, and wire it up with your new SI wiring. Okay, that will, and just fix the this evap, this is called evap purvide. Just fit it up with some nut and bolt. I fixed it with this one. Okay, so it's very easy to connect these. These can be in very much shapes, like this, these evac shut valves or purge valves, like this will come with your engine. But to connect those, one end should be connected to your evap line. So but look at that, the factory evap line was like this. So if I try to connect this device with this line, then this will be almost touching the exhaust. Okay, look at that. So that's why again you have to make some of your own. Okay, very easy, just use any of the rubber pipe, but that must be RJ30 R6 or 7 standard, because the fumes will be in here, and this will be eaten inside if it is not of the standard pipe. Okay, so just connect one end here and the other to your desired location. Okay, wherever you want away from the exhaust. Okay, for example, you can mount it here. Just one end of this will be going in there, and the other end will be in your intake manifold. Here is a nice vacuum, so the other end would be going like this. Okay, you can change this pipe according to your need. Okay,
you want to give it vacuum here, you want to give it, this was the original vacuum location. That little I have clamped with zip tie. Okay, this was the original location, so you can mount it here, but it's easy if you use these polyurethane pipes. I already told in the previous part. Okay, these are just fine for any type of fuel, so just sleeve them with, I told you in previous video, just cover them with a heat sleeve, and that will cover your evap. Okay, so but other thing is the wiring, and I will tell you in the wiring section. This is usually we don't need to change the wiring, and this wiring goes to the A grip of the ECU, the white one. Okay, this is the green one, a gray one, and a white one. Where are you? Here it is. Okay, so evap wiring usually goes in this grip, so I will tell you when doing the main wiring. Okay, so and you people are should be seeing that CRZ is open for so many days. That's because first the plan was to only change the transmission. Okay, this transmission is back with new synchros, so but now look how smoothly it is shifting. Okay, the previous was just not shifting. Look at that, it's like butter. And but the plan changed because I got a killer deal on a, look at that, the USA Acura RSX engine, the K20A2. So I thought, why not just change this too. Okay, this was a budget swap, but now I need high revs and to make a world HP record, so I will be building that engine with a forged piston, with a everything, connecting rods, etc, all those goodies, and then I will be aiming near 600 to 700 to 800 HP. Okay, so that's the plan why this CRZ is still open. Okay, the second thing is because I don't want to right away close it and swap the engine, because still I have to make the video on the wiring. Okay, so it's better that this place is just open, so that I can explain you people how to do the wiring instead of doing at my computer. Okay, because doing it here will be lot more easier. So that's why CRZ engine while building, and it is on hold because I want to complete this series first, then I will be swapping the K20 engine in it. Okay, so that was it for the evap line. But sometime a problem occurs with evap line, that we have the plastic fuel tanks. Okay, so sometime if the evap does not work, or sometime there is a problem with the Flash Pro or K Pro, so what happens is the fuel tank reading inside the cabin don't become so much accurate. So what happens is we have plastic fuel tank. If the pressure rises inside fuel tank, the it will expand. Okay, so the fuel level will decrease, and if there is vacuum inside, for example the fuel pump is pumping the fuel, but there is no air entry into the fuel pump fuel tank, so there will be vacuum. What will happen is this will shrink and the fuel level will rise. Okay, so that's sometimes the reading become incorrect. So if that is happening to you, I will address that when all this everything is complete, because that will make more sense when everything else is complete. Okay, so let's start with the wiring, and main thing I want to emphasize is just choose your ECU wisely. Okay, because that's two things matter. Okay, the ECU should be that which have some aftermarket support. Okay, which is tunable. Okay, with Honda Flash Pro, K tuner, AEM, etc. Don't choose a infamous ECU. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is these points in the ECU. Okay, so this is the Civic SI ECU, which has 44 points. Okay, so that is very important what point your ECU has. Okay, so this is written over here. Let's see the numbering and look at that. What is that number? Okay, look at that, it's 44. Okay, that number. So numbering is written all over here. Okay, let me show you another thing. This one is clear. Okay, so starting from 1 2 3 4 5 6 9, then 10 11 12, here is 25 26 27 28 30 31 32 30 40 1 2 3 4. Okay, so the CRZ ZF1 and Honda Fit Hybrid GP4, okay, that comes with same CRZ engine, so they both have 44 pins. Okay, the 44 pin, so in that you will choose the ECG of the Civic Si FG2 07 to 11. Okay, that has 44 pin. Similarly, in GE8 Fit, same model but a different engine, that has 48 pins. Okay, and similarly so I will tell you what ECU to use. Okay, usually that is the 2012 plus 2012 to 15 Civic Si, which comes with the K24Z7 engine. So it's wise to use that engine for the swap plus that ECU for yourself, because look at that. If you choose this is the grip which is your car grip. Okay, but these two green and the gray one, these come with your wiring, whatever wiring will you buy. Okay, so that also matters a lot, because sometimes if you buy the ECU which A grip is matching with your A grip. Okay, but you have bought a wiring which have 44 grips, but your car has 48 grips, and you have bought the ECU with 48 grips. So the engine wiring, the B and C grips won't be going in there. Okay, they won't fit. So that's very important to choose such ECU. All should be the same, or else you can choose the ECU which has these plug and play. Okay, for example. But if this is not matching white grip, then you can buy this from a junkyard, whichever it matching to your ECU, and then unplugging all the unpinning all the wires and repinning them in that plug. Okay, so that thing can also work if you are out of options. So if you are out of options, choose an ECU which at least have B and C grips which match your ordered wiring. Okay, that is important, because instead of buying these two grips and again pinning them, that is nearly 44 plus 44, that's almost 90 plus wire. So there's more chance if you repin them there will be mistake. But these are 44 wires. Okay, and still we have to rewire 20 of them. So I prefer, just if you still have no options and you are trying to use an ECU, just try to match these two plug at least. The A plug you can buy from the junkyard and repin your ECU wiring into that plug. Okay, this plug, cut it plug from the wiring of the junkyard. So I hope I explained this very important point. So let's start the main wiring. Okay, the wiring I will divide it into the sections. Okay, the oxygen sensor wiring, the immobilizer configuration or wiring, then the starter wire going all the way here to starter here. Okay, and then the other sections. Okay, so I will be dividing that in sections. So the next episode will be mainly focused on wiring. Okay, from next onward. K series gear 5 speed 38.9 weight.